changed everything. The way I walk, the way I breathe. Will my fate shift into the night? But here I am, same old thing. Thinking deep, no ecstasy. Reality haunts the living mind. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, will you go away? It won't be as simple for you.
Sorry, I'm on mute. It's Old Man G here, back again. No intro really. Manchester United are out of the Champions League. I see if I can in the background. I'll bring you in a second. If new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio, follows on Twitter, United X, yada yada yada, you know that stuff. United are out of the Champions League. I just want to just give a brief match reaction before getting people's thoughts. I will be on certain shows. I'm sure there are people in the comment section where are you? Where are you? Come and see me on my channel. Come and see me on my channel. Come and see me on my channel. Hence, RDS, how is Maguire's match? I mean, to be honest, to be fair, you know, I'm obviously annoyed. I'm obviously very, very annoyed in that game. I actually think that we actually played well. It's been a recurring theme with United under Ragnick this season is that we actually played okay, but we've not been able to finish the game, and that's for me the case in this game. We played a lot better in this game than we did against Atletico away, and we lost. And that's football, really. There are a few other things like you can blame the referee, you can blame how poor people were, but I think I'll just basically start from the beginning, really. Sorry, let me just bear with me for 2 seconds. I'll be right back. 1 second. Right, sorry about that. So let me quickly go into your comments before I start to break things down. Ultra says didn't really see a game plan for Maximus. Horrible teams next to one was woeful. Keep looking. To be honest, I actually think for the first half, I actually think McFred was fine. With this game, McFred, to be honest, to me was the least annoying. Fred actually probably had one of the best games I've seen in a Manchester United shirt. Like, I've never seen Fred play that well. I've never, ever seen Fred play so good before. I haven't. And so for me, up until he got taken, he's probably one of the few players that I think for me could keep his head held high, in my personal opinion. But there are certain players that I'll get to that I couldn't. Some of these players just aren't up to you, and people need to accept that. And I think that's true. And I'm going to talk about a few players in particular that just aren't. But I think ultimately, like at the end of the day, over 2 legs, did we deserve to go through? No, we didn't deserve to go through. It's as simple as that. Over 2 legs, Manchester United did not deserve to go through. Make sure you like the vid, guys. It goes a long way if you like the vid, please. It really does. Lukaku says that haram ball from Madrid. I mean, That for me is what I'm more frustrated about this game. It's not so much that if we got torn apart by Bayern Madrid, it'd be one thing, but it's just as a football purist, I just don't like the way Atletico Madrid play. I just don't. Like, I really don't. To the point where I remember when Liverpool played Atletico Madrid at Anfield, and I was rooting for Liverpool because I just don't like it. It's negative. I don't think Atletico had a shot on our goal in the entire second half. You know, De Gea was barely threatened. It's negative. It's boring. It gets the job done, but it's just not football personally that I like watching personally. GL in Europa next year, you'll need a whole new real board, but sadly for you, until Brady retires, you're not getting that. We'll see what happens to the real board. I mean, I will probably do right now. I think future United, all that stuff is not really for today because there's so much that has to be discussed around that. That's too long for this to show. There's a lot that needs to be done. When it will be done or not, I've got no idea. I really don't. Sigma Gem says Rashford is bad. Rashford was bad. Rashford is very, 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 very bad. Very bad. Rashford was very, very bad. That's all I can say. I don't know what's happened, but if he wants to leave, I think he can leave. To be honest, he didn't, you could see that when we took Fred and Elanga off, ironically enough, we sort of lost that cutting edge. Cavani didn't really do much. None of the subs really, aside from Matic, who you could have made a case that maybe Matic should have started from the beginning alongside Fred. But to be honest, if I'm looking at the players that I think were poor, that stood out for me, I'd actually say it was probably Bruno, Rashford when he came on. At times the fullbacks, although I don't really want to go on Dalot that much. And obviously Maguire. But Maguire being poor is standard. So I can't really say that's a new thing. Maguire being poor is just standard. But those are the ones that stand out to me in the game. And then the subs, to be honest, Pogba didn't really do much. Cavani didn't do much. Matic was the only one that really did much. Rashford did nothing. I'd rather us have had Lingard, to be honest. Can go with that. Maguire didn't do anything. Yeah, Maguire didn't do anything. This is what I'm saying. I don't want to say Maguire was bad as I've seen him. I think the problem when I saw Maguire at the time was that his positional sense was bad, and he's the captain. So when you see the goal that we conceded, in fairness to Dalot, he's got he's been marked by 3 people. He's having to think about marking 3 people. I've been in those positions when I played football. Like, you got 3 people like running into sides, and I don't know who to mark because someone hasn't tracked back, i.e. Elanga. So Elanga should have hurried back. He was jogging. Don't do that. You can't do that at the highest level. These are the habits that I've seen some of the United Academy players pick up. And so whatever I say about Lingard, one of the things that Mourinho loved about Lingard was that defensively he would play him because he would come back and track back. Rashford, Greenwood, sometimes Elanga, Martial at times, they don't track back. They don't have that. And the thing is, they're young. You've got no excuse. If Cavani and Ronaldo are tracking back more than you are, that's a problem. That's a problem, Ifak, I'll see you in. I'll bring you in a second, buddy. Simeone's the goat. No. Let's not go that far. Full coach reset needed at this club. United got Atletico. Fred should start with Matic. That's what I think the midfield should be. Fred, Matic, and alternate between Pogba and Bruno. Personally, Fred actually, for me, if we're talking the best player in the overall in the game, for me it was Fred, and I never thought I would say that. I think Sancho was okay, but the problem with Sancho was that he was getting man marked, and he was that's about it, I think. But I never thought I'd say that Fred was probably the man of the match for Manchester United when he was on the field. Rashford needs to be sold if we can't get him out this season. The guy is no longer a young talent. We were great in the first half. That's it, and that has been so since Ragnar came. Exactly, and that's the thing. It's. I was saying to people as I was watching. This reminds me of Middlesbrough. We're playing really, really good. And now, is it Ralph? Is it the fact that that was tactics, or is it that we, because do we win this game if Ollie, for example, is in charge, and we let Atletico Madrid have the ball, and then we sort of try and counterattack? Possibly, but it's just been the recurring theme. We play well, we do good, we do good, we do good, we do good in the first half, and you're thinking, and like I thought that in the first 45 minutes, we need to score. We need to score 2-0. If we score 2 goals, we're fine. But as soon as Atletico, we've given them the incentive, because as soon as the second half, you knew Atletico Madrid were going to. I knew coming into this game what Atletico Madrid were going to do: defend deep, get on the counter, and as soon as they get their first goal, they're going to defend. That's literally all they're going to do. Not going to really cause any problems going forward, really, But they're good in possession. They'll just sit back, and then that's it. That's it. Part of me thinks that we would have even been better with going against PSG. As bad as that sounds, I could be wrong, but it is what it is. I don't know. It's disappointing, to say the least. There's not much else to be said, really. Fred alongside a Post then would be amazing. Yeah. Pru's got us up because how that Langer chance didn't go in. Wow. Yeah, and that's the thing. We had our chances. That Varane header, Oblak made the save. We ultimately had more chances than Atletico Madrid, I thought. But we didn't put them away. And that's been the summary to a certain extent of Manchester United's season under Ralph. Against Watford, we had our chance, didn't put them away. Against Middlesbrough, we had our chances, we didn't put them away. There is a question that our forwards just haven't ultimately been good enough. I love Ronaldo. He scored the hat trick. I was celebrating. But, our forwards haven't been putting away the chances. And, has the number 10 been creating? Bruno's turnover has been awful. Where was that for Ronaldo? Worst player in football history. I wouldn't blame Ronaldo, man. Yo, what? RD, that was pathetic. RGS, that was pathetic. From United in the second half, but the thing is, people like this, I'm not surprised, because it follows the same pattern that most of the games have been this season. You play well in the first half, and you're thinking, we need to score. But what happens? We don't score. So the other team grows in, they get a goal, and then we're like, we don't know what to do, Congo says we played well, but we played into Conte's hands. Radnick is not made out to be the manager, and we have known that. We have a group of youth to come for next year, so nurture them well, and it's okay. I don't actually think... But this is the problem. I don't actually have a problem with Ragnick's tactics. I think Ragnick's tactics were fine. There was no issue with Ragnick's tactics, as far as I'm aware. People liking, make sure you guys, if you like, subscribe. I'm going to get Efak on his thoughts. If you do want to get on and with your thoughts as well from the game, the link is in the comments section. So come on and let me know your thoughts. Yeah. This game was basement level football. I think United played better, but it is what it is. End of an era, Ronaldo can retire. Yeah. Yeah. Not console Simeone. Yeah, we did play the Simeone's hands. This was a Europa League level game. The quality of the game. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. None of these teams were going to win. None of these teams were going to win the Champions League. Let's keep it a stack. Like, United weren't going to win the Champions League, and Atletico Madrid not going to win the Champions League. None of these teams are going to win the Champions League at all. That's not happening. Right now, I would argue the best team, in my opinion, would probably be. It's a difficult one. Given how lucky you are, it could be Chelsea again. Jeez. Mega says Marcus Trashbeck. I don't disagree there. Dude needs to be sold. Mata should have come on early, and Russia should have never come onto the pitch. I'd even play Lingard, to be honest. Is there any point of the rest of the season? No, not really. We can chase for top 4. We can chase for top 4, but Arsenal have the advantage. So really, you're thinking, and the thing is, can this team, as we've seen, really go on a good run? You know, if we win all of our games, there's a slim chance of top 4 from now. But is that really going to happen? I don't think so. Not with this team. They've not shown it. They've not shown it yet. Right. I'll get to some of the rest of some of your comments. Obviously, there's a lot of comments coming in. Actually, let me quickly go through some of them. Sorry, I know Efak and Tommy in the back. Just want to quickly go through some summary comments, and then we'll get in. Rashford needs to either leave or go for a 2-week warm weather internet training with proper is going to get him. Same comes back if he wants the future. I agree. Teller's call-ons were horrible today, and they were, which was surprising given his delivery against Spurs. I still think he should have started. I don't think it was wrong for him to start over Shaw because I don't think Shaw has been that good, and I don't know was he available even. McTominay is one of the worst midfielders ever. He was bad, but I don't think he was that bad today. I actually McFred for the first time we're actually all right. Like you got to bear in mind, we controlled the entire we controlled most of the game in the first half with McFred in the midfield. I wouldn't say that Atletico's midfield dominated us. It's just that they, when they got onto the counter, they were dangerous, much like United were under Oli. Either taken the point onto Nana Brunton now. We need better. We need better. What he was out of position for Atletico. Dalla had to mark. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mega. That's what I'm saying. He was Maguire. Alanga was out of position, and Maguire. You could sort of think that you were like, if I was a captain in that position, I'd be like, right, okay, I've got Tellers to one side. Okay, you go to that person. Right, I need to go to this person because you can see the game in front of you. And then Dallo, you go to that person. So Maguire wasn't marking anybody. So Maguire should have gone to the person that Dallo was marking, and then Dallo should have been shifted outside. That could have potentially helped things. But I do think that Alanga should have tracked back because ultimately, had he sprang back as he would have at least put pressure on Thingy to not score that goal. Was more on Man United's laziness. Everybody's walking around. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it was for me. Alanga was mostly at fault for that goal. People blaming Dallo are not really seeing it. Shout out Benfica pulled up the upset. I wouldn't really say it's an upset. I think Benfica and Ajax were more of at the same level. But shout out to the Portuguese league, man. Always doing the bits. It's indirect as Russia's fault that Alanga's on the Champions League game. At least it's good experience. Yeah. You know, the thing is, Alanga's a good squad player at best, but that's as far as it goes, to be honest. We can't be relying on him. He's a good squad player. He can get better. He's young, but we can't be relying on him. Rashford is bad, and he's just not a young anymore. Maybe his confidence is short. I don't know, but it's not good enough. Penaldo at least showed passion when he flopped Messi. When he flopped, Messi hides behind Neymar and Mbappe shadow. Yeah, I mean, let's both Messi and then Ronaldo out of the Champions League. So what are you going to say now? Maguire's at fault for the goal. Too slow to get in front of Felix. He spins him, lays it off to Griezmann, and defense opens up just like that. Yeah, that is one thing, Joe. You are right. You are right about that. You're right about that. Maguire's positioning was atrocious for that entire game. It's been happening all season. He keeps on getting drawn out of position, and it happened in the build up to the goal as well. I still think we could have prevented it, but it happened a few times before that goal. We're thinking, Maguire, for goodness sake, stay in position, and he didn't. Essentially, Man United season's over now. Pretty much, unless we win all of our games. I think if we win all of our games up to the end of the season, we have a slim chance of getting top 4. That's about it, really. We have a slim chance of getting top 4 if we win all our games from now and hope that Arsenal drop points. But is that going to happen? Avalanche have created nothing after that. I agree. For my opinion, the reason for this loss is tactics from Ralph. He's playing a Brian football to we don't have Trent Wilson co-work. He's too near for management. I wouldn't say that. Because we for most parts we had control of that game. We created chances. We created more chances than even under Oli. But at the end of the day, the players need to put them away. Let's put youngsters on your door. The others can rot in the reserves. I mean, at the end of the day, they still need to be good, though. And I don't. And to be honest, I actually don't think the Manchester United youngsters are as good as people make them out to be. This is not the Arsenal Chelsea academy. Like, yes, we have some good youngsters, but I actually don't think they're that great. We've not produced the likes of a Saka or a Smith Rowe or a Martinelli or a Reece James or a Shabala who's better than Maguire, or those types of players. We haven't. I can't. The most talented Manchester youth player in years that I think United produce is behind bars. I keep it a stack. I'm not even that triggered because they were favourites and it was, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The goal was Maguire's fault. Noah Hutchinson in back. Ronaldo gone missing. Can someone help United fans find him at least seen against Spurs? I mean, that was only 2 days ago. Let's keep it a stack. Yes, my question is: do United sign a manager now, seeing that all the top choices are out of the UCL, even a pre-signed contract? Yes, you might as well. You might as well. You might as well. You might as well. You literally might as well. The ref is a class A brick. Yeah, the ref wasn't good today at all. I don't want to really go down the line of blaming the ref because the mentality which can be under new management, which might happen to Ragnick and Arnold. Think a restart anyway with new managers. You know something? You know what's actually funny, which summarizes how much of a joke that Manchester United Football Club is that you saw Darren Fletcher get a yellow card. Darren Fletcher is supposed to be the technical director of the club. What's he doing? What is he doing in the coaching section? And then he's getting a yellow card. Like that's how much of a joke it is. Darren Fletcher, the only United player to get. Well, I think Matic got a yellow card from the pool, but outside of Matic, the only other player to get was Darren Fletcher. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. Right, let me get on some guys. EFAC, man. Right, EFAC, bro. Tom, I'll bring you in a second. EFAC, thoughts?
I knew this tie would end badly for us. When the draw was made, our fans were confident, but when we play Spanish clubs, I don't know what it is, we always come up short. We cannot beat them. I can't even remember the last time we beat a Spanish side, to be honest. But
Villarreal, I guess technically in the group stages, but knockouts.
Yeah,
it's a bit sketchy.
Yeah. First half was all right. I thought we had that good chance of Elanga that should have been a goal. I thought the fullbacks were doing all right. I thought Fred was actually playing really well. But then the one chance they get, crap defending, and then they go 1-0 up. And then as soon as that goal went in, I knew we're not getting this back because they're just going to park the bus, and we don't really know how to break down teams that well, especially when they're playing like that. But we just need a reset at this club. I mean, some of those players are just not good enough. We need a whole new spine. Bruno again. This guy's meant to be world class. He's never proved it in a big game for this team, I swear. He was just hoofing it to absolutely no one.
He was petulant. I think Bruno had a bad game, to be honest. I don't really know if any, like, I don't really know what he did. He was petulant. He was his distribution wasn't particularly good, losing the ball for turnovers. I think at times Fred was even better in that more advanced role. Going up top than Bruno was. Which
some of
was
the dribbles Fred was doing were nice, to be honest. That little
some of the touches, I was like, did he bring up his Brazilian passport today? He was up to the game. For me, he's probably the only player in that team that could probably hold his head high and go, okay, I went at it and I did the best. I did the best I could. Everyone else,
I think, I don't know why Ralph bought on Rashford. Rashford is so finished. This guy, did he do anything like worth of
aside from losing the ball 2 or 3 times when we're in good positions?
Every time he got it, he tried to do some stupid decision and then just gave him the ball. This guy is finished. If this guy wants to leave, then you can leave, mate, because this guy's complaining about not playing on the left wing and all that. You're not good enough for this club. You're mid-table level. I'm sorry. His decision-making, he's lost his pace and power after that injury. and now he has nothing. Now he has to go because football. Yeah, they say when you lose your pace, the real player comes out in you. He's lost his pace, and this guy can't do anything. He's garbage. And I mean, Maguire as well. He takes so long on the ball. I don't know if you've seen it, but in the second half, he had the ball like near the corner. He was doing these stupid turns. He turns like a bus, and ends up like almost costing us a good chance. I mean, so God, the season's done in March. There's nothing to look forward to. It's just depressing, absolutely depressing.
Yeah, it's and it's a summary of the entire season, really. You know, so ultimately, a lot of overhyped and overpaid players.
We need a whole new spine to this team. We need a whole new spine.
But you know, and I'll probably do a show later. You know, but the reality is that I just don't think that. I think there are a lot of people that are assuming that that United were going to go all out in the summer and going to buy players and do all these bits and pieces. You know, the reality is that I just don't think that. Tom, if you're saying the chat season was finished in November, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I think that we were more delaying than I think we're just being optimistic. Inevitable. And at the end of the day, we knew the United weren't going to win the Champions League. Let's be real.
My problem is with this club as well, the fan base. The fan base were all acting like we were going to beat Atletico. Like, we need to humble ourselves. We're not that club anymore. No. We were a few years ago. We're crap. We haven't won a trophy in 5 years. Our fans need to just realise that this club, until the board changes something, is not going anywhere. There needs to be protests because this club is nowhere near where it used to be. And it's sad every season. The fans get their hopes up. I don't, because I know what this club is.
Yeah.
And then they start complaining again. But, you know, then they'll get gassed for the next game and get excited for it. But there's nothing to be excited for because the Glazers, when they're in charge, they're just going to lead this club dry, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, exactly. Like I don't have any regard on that. Like I've quite a lot of apathy regarding Manchester United right now. You know, there's nothing really. You know, I mean, I think Ronaldo came and you got the boost, but at the end of the day, you know,
I thought Ronaldo was all right in the first half. I know people.
Yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah, this is like Ronaldo's his link-up play and stuff like that was fine, you know. So,
but in the second half, he didn't really do anything. But
no,
we didn't really create anything for him. You know what I mean? Like
he was too deep. A lot of time I was seeing him, I was like, you know, when we were even trying to cross against him, he was just playing too deep. He was coming way too deep, and it was like there's no one in the box. Like if you're gonna do up Atletico, you need to have at least 2 or 3 people in the box to do something. So, you know.
But another thing about this club again, first time he's gone trophyless in 16 years. I mean, this club, I think it's cursed. I actually do, since Fergie left. I don't know. I really don't know what went wrong, to be honest.
But it's United at this point in time. You know, it's you know we had a chance, and you know with the quality on the field, we should have beaten Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, they're not even good. I'm sorry, this is the most frustrating thing. I'm going to address it. That ref, I don't know what if he was getting paid or something, but every decision went to Atletico. He was poor all game, I thought, and he was disrupting the flow of the game. He only added 4 minutes on when it felt like there was like 10 minutes stoppages. That was just me, but I don't know. I'm just gutted.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a simple, easy solution to it. As I was saying, I was like, the ref was bad. You know, I mean, I don't want to blame the ref, but like, it wasn't. You know, it was.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to blame the ref, but like, he was just disrupting the flow of the game, and was just like.
Well, it was more the consistency. It was more like I don't. Which one do you want? Do you either? Do you want? Let me get that. In fact, there's a lot of people are waiting. Let me just change. I'm going to just get everyone in right now because I'm sure a lot of people are waiting to have their say. Tom's in the background as well. 1 second. Let me just change graphics a bit. Okay, let's add. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, everyone should be in now having their say. Tom, Tom, your thoughts just on this whole debacle?
So I've told you, season we're done in November. When you don't have a plan as a football club for who you want as what direction you want to go for your manager, it sums it all up about your season, really. When you sack a manager, you don't. Sorry to swear, but you don't piss about going for interims and caretakers and all this. You go and get the person you want. It doesn't matter if the fans agree with it or not. If the club wants a certain manager, you go and get them. It doesn't matter. And ultimately, we can see that tonight. These players don't care. Let's be honest. Some of them, they're not playing for. Well, I don't even know what they're not playing for the manager. Certainly, some of them, they're not playing for the club.
I said, bro, I was surprised that for me, Fred was probably the only player from the team that's played that you could see was like up for it. Like, right,
listen, G. There's a couple of these players you can see something there with a new manager. I think a new manager comes in, and I think with some of these players, they will do something with some of them. Your likes of your Alangas, your Sanchos, possibly your Freds, if they've still got time left in the game and stuff. But some of the areas in the team, I mean, like where do we start? I mean, first half, don't get me wrong, I think performance-wise, I think we were decent. But as we've seen throughout the course of the season, I don't need to name games. You know, we know the games where it's happened. The likes of your Villas, where we go 2-0 up and capitulate. Spurs was nearly another example at the weekend. You know, I think one person, I want to make this clear. Every Manchester United fan needs to thank Cristiano Ronaldo. Thank you lucky stars that you've got him, because we wouldn't even get this far in that group stages. We were abysmal as a team, absolutely abysmal. So thank you lucky stars you've got Cristiano Ronaldo, because you've got to tonight. And we still, it doesn't matter that we've not advanced. We weren't going to win it anyway. Like I say, I've got nothing more to say other than the season we're done in November. And these players, they don't care. They're not playing for a person who's here for 5 months. Darren Fletcher, you've made the point already. You're getting the yellow card and everything. I mean, Ralph even got asked in a press conference, what does Darren Fletcher do? I don't know.
I don't know.
When your manager says somebody who's an assistant next to him doesn't know what his role is or what his job title is, that's concerning. Really, really concerning. When you have somebody who's built footballing brands and structures for the past 15 years, the Red Bull Sporting Group, for example, his prime sort of sporting acumen that he's built from the ground, and you don't know the person who's sat next to you. I mean, it's just a joke from top to bottom. Yeah. And even with the game, I mean, some of these players, honestly, I've said what I said in the comments about Rashford. You either bin him in the summer or you send him on a 2-week intense course, get some fitness, get some confidence back into him, and see if you can get him firing. Because, like we say, we don't have a game for, I think it's 18 days or something now, isn't it? Yeah. 18 days. There's 2 weeks there that you can go away to Dubai or wherever, Marcus. Go away with some proper fitness coaches and try and get some confidence back. Otherwise, check out in the summer. Go to Paris, go to wherever you want to go. Freelancing on the free open market for free agents. Go do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, we don't even know the direction that we're going in. I mean, like we've already said, now we've got nothing. Realistically, there is nothing to play for. I always knew that there wasn't anything to play for anyway. So at the end of the day, go and approach a manager now. By the end of the season, go and get something signed.
Oh yeah, because
the two that we want, they're not even in the big competition anymore. Yeah,
both out. Yeah. Pochettino's gone out with PSG, and Ajax is now with Ten Hag. So you are thinking like, oh, should we now go for those? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to probably do a discussion with Pochettino or Ten Hag. I really have got no idea, because ultimately I just think that.
I've sent you something on the referee anyway, G.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter. So I think he's a bit dodgy from his
put it that way.
Yeah. So, but I mean, what can I what can I say, man? Like at the end of the day, it's UEFA, and ultimately.
We're not going to be in it next year. So don't worry about it, guys.
Well, there's no point. This is the thing: is at the end of the day, you know, and I'll come to yesterday next, man. You know, so it's that like there's no point. At the end of the day, what's the point there's no point in qualifying for. This is the thing about this top 4 trophy thing. There's no point in qualifying top 4 if you're not in a position to actually even win the Champions League. Chelsea, Liverpool, and City are at least in positions with their management-wise, squad-wise, to win the Champions League. We've not been in the position to win the Champions League. I'd even argue back to some late Fergie days. We've never been in that position really for quite some time. So, aside from Champions League revenue money and attracting players, which hasn't worked really. Oh, so Tom's gone. Yasir, man, go on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
It's like, the worst thing about it is, like, as much as we say the season is over, there's still games left to play. And the thing is, like, we as fans say, our season is done, all that stuff. The reality is we still have to play league games. We still have to play Liverpool. We still have to play Chelsea. We still have to play Arsenal at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's like, what is the point? That's my question. It's like, what is the point? Like, you see today's game, literally this game panned out exactly the same way as the first game, literally. Like, people can say, oh, we played better. But that's Man United fans. Like, I'm sick and tired of our fan base. We played better because Diego Simeone knew what he had to do. His game plan was perfect. We ran into absolute perfection. Shout out to Diego Simeone. People have lied and abused him. But let's be honest, he completely outclassed Rangnick today. He completely outclassed our players today. Simple as that. He didn't need to play football against us. All he had to do is just give us the ball, allow us to have the ball in certain areas. Knew that Man United couldn't break us down. He knew that perfectly, and he knew that he's going to get chances with the way our backline is. The way our backline is, he knew he was going to get chances, and they did. We could see the same goal we conceded was exact. That we conceded 2 goals today. One was ruled offside, and they were identical. Man United. A couple of weeks last week at City, the goal that Riyad Mahrez scored. Same exact thing happened. He should have scored 2 goals. Same exact thing happened in the corner. It's the same. And it's like it's insanity. We do the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. I just understand why you play Maguire. He's our captain. We can see goals. It's like I don't understand. And it's like, and at a point it gets to a point where, like, people always protect. I'm sick and tired of, like, all fans. It's all about agendas. Let's be honest. Like Tom said, like, when you don't Tom said, you don't have a plan. We don't have a plan. And let's be honest. Look at the 4 teams that are going to finish top 4 is easy. Everyone, let's cut the chase. Let's cut the nonsense. Everybody knows it's going to be Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. 4 teams with a plan that know exactly what they're doing. Let's be honest, guys. How in the world are we in a situation where Arsenal Football Club are miles ahead of us? This is what we're doing to Arsenal Football Club. We're trying to chase after them. We're chasing after Arsenal Football Club. Ben White looks 10 times the player than Harry Maguire. Solid. If I'm telling you guys this, we have a struggling of creating goals, we have created chances, and we have a struggle of keeping clean sheets. And how can we expect us to do anything? What team has struggle of creating chances? What teams has a scoring goals? What teams has a struggle with being good defensively? It was, let's be honest, I thought Madrid didn't do anything today. They didn't have to try.
Let me just quickly go for some comments. So I'll get back to you. Yes, my question is: do United sign a manager now, seeing that all the top choices? Oh yeah, so even a pre-signed contract. Yeah, well.
The only thing I'm going to say is, at this point, we are expecting this football club to change when it will never change. 10 years is a long sample size. Nothing changes. We might somehow, some way win an FA Cup, we might somehow, some
I don't
way.
think we'll even win that. I don't think United can compete, and essentially, I don't think United can compete for anything until Pep and Klopp retire from their clubs respectively.
But
That's my
but the thing
belief.
is like you say that Tuchel won the Champions League, Tuchel won the Super Cup. Like let's be honest here, guys. Is I just yes, we were not going to win the Champions League, but all you want to do is prolong the series. Like let we us our fans. That is our job. We're fans, man. Our job is like we want to watch football. We want to watch the round of the quarterfinals. I'm sick and tired of watching the Champions League and not watching Man United play. We're gonna sit. We're not watching the FA Cup and not see Man United play.
It's our level, I guess. So at the end of the day, so, I mean,
I just give up, man. At this point is like the players don't care. It's as simple as that. They just simply don't care. And I mean, I like Ralph Ragnick, but Tom is right. Why hire a manager that the players would never play for?
Well, that's on the board situation because I mean I'm assuming he thought that he was going to get. I don't blame Ralph because I'm assuming he was told certain things that ultimately didn't materialize.
By the way, that guy right there that you guys keep seeing, he's an Arsenal fan. So,
I'm sure
he's enjoying this.
I'm sure he's very, very happy with that. Dropping out the CL might help with the change. It's possible because when we dropped out the CL before, they tend to invest.
But the Red Devil, we drop out the CL, we're gonna end up in the Europa League. Do you want to do that again? We've been through that so many times. How many times are we gonna drop out in the last 10 years? I said where the stats are. We advanced from the knockout round, the round of 16 once. We played more in the Europa League than we played in the Champions League. So at this point, it's like,
relax.
Does it matter?
Relax. You're getting top 4, man, as an Arsenal fan, man. The quicker the downfall of United, the better them. I would not take 9 out of 11 United players starting if I were to start your squad. Sancho and Lango, get with the rest. I mean, you could probably still keep. I mean, I'll do a show on it about the players that you'd sort of sell or keep, So, but there's certain players, not whether after this season now that you're thinking, but United are not going to spend all that money on an entirely new squad. We're not going to sign 8 new players. We're going to sign maybe at most 4.
And then Red Devil, what are we going to do? Pogba is going to leave. Cavani is going to leave. Ronaldo is going to leave. He's going to get to a point where, like, the players that are left, they said, Arsenal, look at that. See that? You see this? Yeah, this is what I have to deal with.
Arsenal. I know. So, fair enough. Come on the show. But United fell from first to fourth, now going to be fifth. Revenue will start fading away, ending the dynasty figures, but only thing you need is Revolution manager starting from scratch. Yeah, like a Klopp situation. So, Abu Siana says, as Laguire.
Yeah.
Chainsaw, thank you for the super chat, man. Always appreciate you, buddy. Second account here, feel for you guys. Another rebuild. I mean, I'm liking the I'm seeing United X 0.9, XG Atletico 0.5. Both teams create little nothing. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, let's not make it like something Atletico Madrid created.
But here's the problem, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like as a manager, your job is to make a game plan, and if your game plan plays, it works. Their game plan was to let us have the ball and counter attack us. That's what they did. So as simple as.
No. Avatar man, Avatar frame. Into speaking, what's your thoughts?
First of all, can everyone hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you. Yes, buddy. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so I mean, I wasn't too overtly pissed off about this game because I knew even if we go through, we're gonna get quarterfinals. So we're no Champions League. But what I want to say is, like, first point on the manager, you guys got to realize, like, even if we bring a top level manager or a manager that's below that, it's not gonna get the recruitment right. For like, if I want to give you an example. If you put Pep in charge of Norwich City, are Norwich City gonna survive? No. So you gotta get the recruitment right. So if you don't give players, he's not gonna create a diamond out of nothing, So you unless you get the recruitment right, you're not gonna advance forward as a club. Number 2, a little point on Ragnick. I wouldn't say what the board did with the Ragnick situation and hiring an interim manager was a wrong thing, because I would rather wait to get my number one choice in the summer if I knew he wouldn't be available in the middle of the season. So rather than going for like a short term option, like I don't know what we had in mind, like Valverde or Rudy Garcia for as a permanent manager, I would rather wait, get Ten Hag or Pochettino at the summer and appoint Ralph Rangnick as an interim. Uh, so I don't have any qualms with that. So
Ooh,
the
your
issue-
microphone.
sorry.
Your microphone just cut out there a bit.
Oh, am I audible now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're audible now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So number 3, the main issue at United right now is the mentality. We don't have a win at all cost mentality. We don't play like a team. We play as a bunch of individuals doing their own thing. You know, Bruno doing his own thing, Ronaldo doing his own thing, Rashford doing his own thing. We don't play as a collective unit. If you look at Arsenal, everything revolves around the manager. They give power to the manager. If there are any disgruntled individuals, like for example, Guendouzi, Aubameyang, they kick them out instantly and they give power to the manager. But at United, it's not like that. Ralph Ragnick, I don't know if he's influenced by the board. He always plays Maguire. He always plays individuals like Pogba, Bruno, even though they're not on form. He is forced to make decisions like that because he's not given power. We need to change that mentality shift. We need to have a mentality shift where we don't give power to the players. Like if you don't, if you're not in accordance with the manager or and the board, you're gone. You're not playing. What are the reserves? We don't do that. We give power to the players, and that creates a mentality that they can do whatever they want because they're not gonna get dropped. They're not. It's not gonna affect their career because they have all the power. We need to change that, and that hopefully, I hope it starts in the next season. But I don't know.
I think so. Chainsaws makes a good point about this. Is that United have 5 players paid more than Liverpool's top earner. Your wage is to be a sign problem, and that is true. I think because at the end of the day, if you've got players, you know, whether we like to believe it or not, if you've got certain players that are paid a considerable amount of money that are basically performing crap, and you have other players that are not paid as much, that are having to work harder, it creates an issue, you know. So, and there are a lot of players that have been paid a lot of money at Manchester United that just aren't delivering what they have. And this is one of the reasons why I don't have any problem criticizing the squad when I see a lot of United fans go, "Oh, back the team. Oh, it's a whole team thing, it's a whole system structure thing." It's like, no. You guys are some of the most paid players, the best paid players in the Premier League. It'd be like, you know, I'm a doctor, so it'd be like a top surgeon
Exactly.
who gets paid 100 something. You're like, oh well, you know, if he makes a mistake, it's okay. It's like, no, you have certain expectations. If he's the best paid surgeon in the country, you have certain expectations of the service he's supposed to deliver. For some reason, United, that's why we can have high expectations because our players have played the most by default. So we should be having expectations. Irrespective of the structure of something like the club, your salary is triple other players, and so therefore you should be delivering more. That's a reasonable expectation. But the problem is that certain players think that they've made it, I think, at the club, and don't think they need to do anything else, and that's a problem.
Can I just go back to a point you made, brother? I don't know your name again. Is it Avatar? Is it
Avatar Frame?
Avatar Frame. I disagree with the notion that you said that it wasn't it was the right decision to hire Ragnick because you want your first choice. But the problem is like the people that are running our club, the people that are in our club, their first choice was Louis van Gaal. Their first choice was a Jose Mourinho. They stuck with Oli because there were chances where they could have gotten rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and hired their quote-unquote first choice in Pochettino when he was available, when he didn't have no job, but they didn't. So that is one thing. The whole first choice, you gotta wait for your first choice. Like United's first choice is a PR. United, I'm telling you, United is absolutely amazing on making things sound good, pretending like they know what they're doing. They seriously do not know what they're doing. That is one thing. The second thing is, okay, Like I said, I like Ragnick. I really do. I love his press conference. I love what he's trying to do. But if you're gonna hire Ragnick and give him no power, there is no point. Then hiring an interim manager. If you're gonna hire Ragnick, tell us not only is he gonna be an interim, because Man United knows that Man United fans will not go for an interim. They don't want to go for it. What did they specifically say when they were hiring Ragnick? Not only are we going to hire Ragnick as an interim, we're going to give him some sort of power that after his interim 6-month interim's done, he's going to be here for additional 2 years as a consultant. So my question to them is, okay, you're bringing him in here, give him some power. Because he's going to be here for 2, and he doesn't have any power. So my point is, what is the point then? That's what I'm saying. That's what I disagree with. I agree with you. At first, I was on board with Ragnick. Yes, Ragnick is going to come here. He's going to rebuild the club. He's going to be here for 2.5 years. He's going to be here as a manager. They're going to listen to him. And in reality, all that was his PR. That none of that exists. Like we're hiring managers. He is saying that they didn't even talk to him about the notion that we're actually talking to manager. Oh no, he doesn't. They haven't talked to me yet. So that means he's out of the loop. So my question is like, why hire this guy if you're not going to use him? If you're not going to give him any power when he doesn't have any say?
It was just someone they could get in at the time.
So like,
so go on.
What I meant by trying to trying to support the Ragnick decision was basically because I want to see some semblance of a plan, like a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan. I know it's some sort of PR, but even if it's PR, I want to see some form of plan that's being formulated by Ragnick and the higher authorities. Even like that's why I wouldn't mind waiting for Ten Hag, because if I knew Ten Hag was a first choice, then I knew that they have some sort of a plan. I didn't want to hire like another interim manager that's gonna continue on as full time, starting from the middle of the season. Like I don't know, like as I mentioned before, Rudy Garcia or Valverde. I wanted to see some sort of plan that's we kind of had under Oli, that they decided to stick with him even though Pochettino was available. That they had some sort of a long-term plan, that they wanted to build a squad under Oli's vision, which in hindsight didn't materialize because. But that's why I wanted.
Ooh, your microphone. Hello. Go on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You dropped off a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying, I wanted to do some sort of plan. That's why I wanted our first choice, even though we had to wait for the entire season to be over. And number 2, I think that I don't think Ragnick would have taken this job if it was on a sole consultancy basis, because if you remember, he turned down the Chelsea job before Tuchel took it because he didn't have complete autonomy and power to make decisions in the Chelsea. So I think even if Ragnick went upstairs, I think he would have some sort of power to make decisions regarding contracts, player sales, purchases, and regarding management, because I don't think he would have taken the job if it was on a sole consultancy basis. And number 3, the reason why I am waiting to give this rebuild, if you want to call it a chance, is because we're not managed by Ed Woodward anymore. We're not managed by the same sort of player management that we had before. This is a completely new CEO, completely new structure with Ragnick on board. And how do I say it? If like I'm willing to give this a chance, because this is
without a doubt. I mean, rather we want to give it a chance or not. This is what we have. So at this point, I mean, like, let's be honest, like. Yeah, so
Roy was watching. Shout out to Roy Livery, tough one, friends. Next season, try again. Roy, who's part of the Rossonari TV crew. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for tuning into the chat, man. Subscribe to the AC Man, at least on a title race. So I hope you guys win as well. Actually, I'm rooting for.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Caesar says not good enough again. Sold them and there's in the summer. pathetic. Oh, it's club bottom from top to bottom.
Yes.
Yeah. United 5 players. Yes, I've read
Well,
that.
Keep this in mind as United fans. Nothing is ever as bad as we think it is, and nothing is ever as good as we think it is. So just keep that in mind as we, like people think top is bottom.
Ooh, your microphone again, man.
Yeah.
Microphone again.
That's not exactly true either. So
The best person who convinced President to stop the war in Ukraine here is the person who convinced our man trying to buy Harry Maguire.
Jeez.
Jeez. Wow. That's when the banter's coming, man. Since Fergie left, United have spent 50 million less than City. Yeah. But the difference is that
They have a structure.
It's a structure. When Pep came, he brought in the Barca director, technical director he's worked with before. They had a working relationship and it worked. Our director was Ed Woodward, who's a banker. And we're chasing instant success. Like, get Van Gaal, get Mourinho, get these players. It just didn't work. Ralph picking United to go to clearly indicate something wrong with the guy. Pep and United, since they both thought the project was all based on. It was because of the consultancy thing. That's it. Ralph for me was always brought in to go to the to essentially do what he did at Hoffenheim and RB Salzburg, I think it was, to completely revamp the culture at Manchester United from top to bottom. That for me was the reason why he was brought in, not necessarily to win anything, not necessarily to be United's coach going forward, but to have a cultural reset. My worry now is following this that people are going to go, okay, get rid of Ralph, and then you're just going to sign, say, Pochettino, and just hope that we're going to get better. I don't think Pochettino comes in and does any better with this team than anybody else, to be honest. He's not going to. So are we just going to sign another manager and just continue the same process? Because Pochettino and even Ten Hag, I don't think are necessarily going to improve this team much unless we have a cultural reset, which includes the tactics in the academy, but also the players that we recruit. There's no reason why we can't sign 6 players in the summer that are all young and up-and-coming, talented players across Europe instead of global superstars.
I think.
Groot, your mic again.
Oh.
Still not great. Ifak, you any final thoughts?
I think we need to get a manager who's young and can build with the club. We need someone on the up, and I think Ten Hag is kind of that.
Sorry, let me just address these comments. Penal's finished. Lead level high on HHSC. This is my channel. For the people that watch on HH, I'm gonna obviously react to my channel first. Okay, so this is my home channel. I'm not a permanent resident on HH's channel. I will go on, but this is technically my channel. So if you want to see me, I am here. Come and see me on my channel first. Jeez. Too much PR on United is bad. I look at your official social media accounts and it feels getting horrible compared to. I agree. Rashford is the new world back. Check above as well, Tari. Again, like I said, this is my channel. I am here. You want me to see me on my channel, but I will go on thingies, so I'm around. I love RDS talking more football in here. No substitution. Yeah, I'm not obsessed with when he's bad, he's bad, and when he's great, I'll obviously celebrate because I like the player.
But RDS, here's a problem though. Also, our fan base is I don't get it. People say Rashford. He is horrible. He's been horrible for a long time. But that we should not gloss over the fact that Jadon Sancho and Anthony Necker didn't have a great game today. Let's be honest, guys. It's at the end of the day, it's
the thing is you can make the thing about it is that you can make, I don't want to say excuses, but you can make reasons for that. I don't think out of the wingers, I still think Sancho was better than when Rashford was. It's just that with certain players, you're like, okay, with Sancho, I can see the potential there. I can also see the fact that for some reason he wasn't picked by Oli at all, despite the fact we've seen what we can see. Elanga, yes, he didn't have a great game today, but at the end of the day, this is literally still he only started the season from January.
But RDS, I get that point, but let's not forget, it's weird with our fan base. It's like at one point we get angry and upset because this is Manchester United, but yet at the same time, Like at the end of the day, this is Manchester United, bro. And for me, the same thing we are saying about Sancho, and the same thing we're saying about Elanga, we said this about Rashford. Yeah, like guys, at what point are we gonna get to a point where like something is seriously wrong with this football club? At what point is Jadon Sancho? Yes, he's talented, he's brilliant, he had a brilliant game against Spurs, but then it's like at the same time, it's like when is Jadon Sancho? I won't be shocked.
Yeah, but Rashford has been at the club for like 5 years now. Like it's one thing to like Sancho was just bought this season, and Elanga only started playing really first team from January. I get that they've not an agreement, but that's one category. When you've been at the club for the certain players, like that's why I don't have much tolerance for Shaw and Rashford, because these players have Maguire. The only reason why I go at Maguire is just because of his price tag, but also his age and the fact he's the captain. But if he wasn't any of those, if he was 40 million and he wasn't the captain, I probably wouldn't go at him as hard. But there's certain players in the team, like Pogba, like Rashford, like I've been at the club for a long time, and despite that, have not delivered anything.
No, I understand that, and I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, like, I feel like at times, what I'm saying is sometimes we can be very simple minded as fans, where we look at, oh, Rashford at this moment, like, oh, Rashford is terrible, is trash. Anthony Elanga and Sancho, they're pretty much the next young Rashford, basically, like the next young players that we have, very talented players. But it's like, at what point are we not going to stop and like look at the players, but look at what's wrong with the club? Because I won't be surprised if Sancho and Elanga turn into Rashford, where we do the same thing with them too. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. I'm not trying to say, oh, let's blame Elanga and Sancho. No. And then let's not blame Rashford. I'm not saying that. Rashford at this point, I mean, I feel it looks like a lost cause. I don't know what more to say about Rashford.
He's not. It's like at the end of the day, we actually need. The thing is, you're right on top to. I agree and disagree at the same time. Sorry, I think if I was trying to speak, I agree and disagree at the same time. The issue is that like a lot of these players, especially under Ollie, were not coached, and have not been coached for almost 3 years. And even Mourinho before then didn't. The last I would say coach we had was Van Gaal. Yep. I wouldn't really have called Mourinho a coach. He was more of a manager, and Ollie didn't really coach anybody. So you can make a case that and both Ollie and Mourinho were at the club for 2.5 years respectively. So about 5 years, 6 years. Were any of these players actually coached properly? No, I don't think so. So at the very least, what we need to do, getting a new manager, is that we need to get a manager and a sporting director that can instill philosophy and that can coach these players to be better first.
And absolutely, I agree with that.
That's at least the board situation is going to change. Let's be real, it's not. But at the very least, you can at least get a manager to try and come on, there are other managers in the look at Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace. I can see a clear difference between the way that Palace play now and the way that Roy Hodgson played with Crystal Palace. Because he coached. So I'm not saying that I want Vieira at Crystal Palace, but I'm just using it as an example to show you brought in a manager who has brought a philosophy, and you can clearly see him and his coaching team coaching the players to play a completely different style. That's why you can draw against City. That's why you play a more of an attractive ball football than the boring football you're playing beforehand, because they were coached. None of these United players look like they've been coached for at least 5 or 6 years, the ones that were there. And the ones that have been coming in seem to adopt that. And so I think with Ralph, it's the first time in a while that once again you have someone who can coach, but it's a bit too late, to be honest. So
that is true, man. Like it is 100. I agree, 100%.
And also not because of can I make one final point?
Yeah, go on.
And also not because of that. Not only that. You see, if you persist with young players, they tend to take in more ideas and be more absorbent of ideas than older players. Because older players, once you get older, you have a clearly defined way of how you want to play. And you won't be as willing as younger players to be more absorbent of another coach's idea. So once you go from a Mourinho style to an Oli style to a Ragnick style, there's a clear distinction between three managers. So players who played under young players who played under Mourinho tend to take in his ideas more, and they're all like matured under Ralph. For example, like Rashford, they're not going to take Ralph's ideas as well as they have done Mourinho's. If you trying to, I don't know if I'm making my point clearly, but
no, I understand.
What I'm trying to say, what I'm just trying to say is like young players, they tend to take ideas more than like older players. So older, like they will be more, they will listen to a manager more than older. Yeah. So like they try to press really well in our system, but that you cannot say the same for Ronaldo because he knows how he wants to play, and that's not a pressing style.
We'll just round things up because I need to. Apparently, I'm being called over the HH stream. Ronaldo needs rest. I think he's mentally exhausted. Needs a manager that actually supports him. He's had people in power attacking, racing on because of times when he's been injured. I saw Rashford, and I don't completely disagree with that. I'm not saying that. But I don't think it helped his cause when you had things coming out saying that he's not happy with his playing time and potentially his agents have wanted to broker a move. I don't really think that was particularly helpful, because you're not being played because you're not performing well, you know. And I hate when players do this where they don't get picked after being played for so long, and then they start leaking stuff to the press about moves and unhappiness and stuff like that. Focus on doing your job, because it's on you that you're being benched for a 19-year-old Elanga. Because although Elanga I think is average, I don't think he's world class or anything. He at least generally seems to listen to instruction. But yeah, guys, thanks everyone.
Rado, before you go, let me just say this real quick. Let me say this. I'm so glad. I'm really happy that and I hopefully we get an extreme clear out this summer, man. Like, I mean, I love Paul Pogba, but I'm so happy that he's leaving. I'm so happy that Cavani's leaving, because at the end of the day, man, like, you want players that want to be here no matter how good their talents are, and you want players that are committed. And Pogba came on and came on, and I just, at this point, good luck to him, good luck to Lingard, good luck to Cavani, good luck to anyone who's leaving. But it's like, I'm not going to lose any sleep if any of these players goes. And hopefully, like you said, hopefully we get a manager that has enough football philosophy, that has a great, that knows what he's trying to do. And the board, for God's sakes, back a manager, man. For God's sakes, back a manager and actually be bold enough to put where the money, where the mouth is at. Because Man United know how to talk, but they need to learn how to walk at this point. And that's all I'm going to say. And I have my reserves about Pochettino and whatever, but whoever the manager is, at least as long as they back him, and that's all any fan can ask for. But like always, thank you for having me, man.
No worries, Jesse. It's been good to debrief. Now pray for me that I don't get destroyed on HH's stream. Chainsaw, shout out to your supporters, a fellow Liverpool fan, but also member, man. I really appreciate you. Great show, RDS. Yes, I respect you so much more now. Pure facts on me. Well, there you go, man. Just pure facts on here, non-emotionalism, just the pure stuff.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, bro.
Right. Shout out to everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitch, United X. Smash the notification button. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.